Now, before I start talking about how people are using astrology in a wrong way, please click on the subscribe button and hit the bell icon to get notification every time a new video is out. And please also remember, leave me a comment right here in the comment section and tell me what type of videos or questions you have on Chinese metaphysics. I'll do a video just for you. Now, when it comes to astrology, many people are using astrology in a totally wrong way. For instance, I'm sure you heard things like people saying, oh, I'm born year of the pig. That's why, I like to procrastinate. I'm a little bit lazy. I like to eat out a lot. And, I'm born year of the ox, or my chart has the ox, and that's why I work like a cow. Life is tough, just like a cow. And I'm born the year of the rabbit. I'm vegetarian. Now, have you heard people using astrology as an excuse to their bad behaviors, their bad characteristics or bad habits? Well, that's not what astrology is designed to do. And then there's another thing that people think that, oh, it's written in my astrology chart, I will be poor forever. I don't have a rich man's life. My life is just miserable. I'm going to get divorced twice, or I'm supposed to marry an old guy, or supposed to marry a much younger woman or older woman, etc., etc. Listen, a lot of people think that their whole destiny, their life, it's written based on the stars. This cannot be further from the truth, okay? Listen to this. Astrology, firstly, only talks a little bit about your personality, but talks a lot about your life potential. Keyword, potential. When a person is born, there's a certain, we're talking about a life force, okay? That life force is the energy that brought life to you. Now think about this, yeah? You may say, how can the stars determine how people are and what their future like? Listen, it doesn't determine the future, but it determines your capacity, your abilities, your hidden potential, your life force. The same life force that is given to an acorn seed to become an oak tree, okay? The same life force that is given to an apple seed to become an apple tree. That life force, that programming, if you think about life force, it's like programming. How does the planets know what to do? How does the caterpillar knows what to do and becomes a butterfly? How does the entire nature work? Life itself, that's a miracle, right? If you think about it, even you take a leaf from the ground and you look at how complicated that leaf is, that life force creation itself, that's the same life force that you have in you that started your life. And if that force leaves your body, you'll be dead, okay? So if you just look at a dead body, right? A person who's just died and before, they're exactly the same way. What has gone? That life force itself has got no weight. That is the energy that we are talking about. It's not physical, but it's a force of this universe. Now, that imprint, what we're looking for in astrology is generally that imprint, and is made up of 4 different categories. We say in Chinese, Tin Dei Yan San. Tin Dei Yan San means heaven, earth, man, and the spirit. These 4 levels or 4 realms is actually written based on that certain imprint of your time of birth. It doesn't mean that it will determine whether you'll be rich or poor, happy or sad, and so forth. It just tells you your so-called DNA makeup or your energy makeup. And if you understand that, at least you understand how to operate yourself better. The thing is this, when we are born to this world, we are not given an operation manual, like how do we operate stuff, how do we manage our emotions, how do we manage our thoughts, how do we manage our behavior, why are we happy sometimes, why are we unhappy sometimes, why are we depressed another, why we have disbelief, why we are cynical, all this stuff. How do we control that? Well, astrology is nothing more than just understanding this imprint. So we're not trying to use that to explain or justify or validate why someone is lazy, for example, or why someone likes to procrastinate. That's not what astrology is used for. And it's also not used to say this determines your fate, your entire future, whether you're going to be poor, you're going to have multiple marriages, all because you have a chart like that. No, it just tells you, well, if this is how your energy makeup is, and if you learn to manage this energy, you will get a much more fulfilling and happier life, because that's the whole idea, how to operate you better. So you still have 100% of your willpower and control. There is a difference between understanding your life force energy and trying to say that your life is fated and that is it, right? And I know some people say, no, but I thought, life happens for a reason. Listen, sometimes the bad shit happen to you, the reason is because we do stupid things. We gotta stop doing stupid things and the bad things stop happening, right? The problem is we don't know that we are doing stuff like that. So if we understand from child, we go, now I have awareness over it, and now I stop doing those things that cause us to have certain type of problems. So if we would like to achieve, let's say, a career success, right, or a happy home, for example, or a more peaceful state of mind, all this, it's in your chart. What are the blockages? What are the obstacles? What do we have to do to get to that outcome that we so desire? So that energy map is called the astrology chart. And of course, the different forms of astrology will have different perspectives of the same life force that we are talking about. Some astrology sees the chart from 12 different perspectives. We call it the 12 palaces or the 12 houses. Western Vedic astrology, Chinese astrology sees it in 12 different perspectives. There's another form of Chinese astrology called the 4 pillars or 8 characters, 八字. There's a technique called 八字 that looks at your chart from 4 different pillars, right? 4 different perspectives of life. So it's the same person have multiple, sides. And under pressure, we perform differently. When we are inspired, we do different things. Some of us get inspired differently. Some of us get, under pressure and we behave in a certain way. When we understand how we work, we understand the ways that can allow us to become a better human being. And when we learn to become a better version of ourselves, we awaken our so-called God-given talents. The thing is, from the moment of your birth, creation is already done. You're already created. You're there. The question is, you don't know what to use. All the powerful willpower, the mind, you're given a very powerful mind. You're given the power of imagination, right? You think the biggest difference between us and other living beings is that human beings have the power of imagination, the ability to think. But, do we use it correctly? Do we know how to think? Some of us, we think ourselves into misery. We question ourselves into depression. We question ourselves into unhappiness. We don't know how to silence that inner voice, that inner critic. So that's all this thinking that is happening. And you wonder, why am I like that? You keep asking that question. But if you understand the energy makeup, what's happening there, and you understand, I can actually see this from outside, and now I can actually change or motivate myself in a different way, or navigate myself or manage myself in a different way, I will therefore change the outcome of my life. And also why we feel the things we feel, right? Sometimes fear itself, it's a part of our emotions, If you think about this, right? People will say, hey, we need money to make money. People say that, right? No, you need courage to make money, and courage is from your emotions. If you can find out from your chart where can you muster the energy, where can you find that courage from within you, you'll be able to conquer fear and do a lot more things that you actually think you can, because now you feel better. All you have to do is feel a bit more confident, have stronger self-image. How do you get a stronger self-image if you don't understand what the image is in the first place? So astrology is not used to look at your flaws and go, now I know why I'm a loser. No, don't do that. You look at astrology and say, okay, where are my strengths? And I'm going to focus on my strengths. I'm not going to look at the chart and look for where am I weak, and then, no wonder I have a miserable life. That's not what we use astrology, and that's the wrong way to use astrology. The correct way to use astrology is to find out what I can do better. How can I have a much better life, a happier life, more fulfilling life? Listen, you don't want to be rich for just one day. You want to be rich for ever, right? You don't want to be happy for just one day. You want to be happy for a long periods of time, for a sustainable period of time. So that is the purpose of using astrology. It's not to predict your fate. Now, I know this is contrary to what a lot of people think. You mean astrology is not to predict when's my next accident? No, it's not. That's wrong. That prediction of the future hasn't been created yet. You are going to create that future. Whether it's going to be this beautiful future, whether it's going to be a miserable future, whether it's going to be a so-so future, you are created. You need to know what you have, and you make that decisions to get there. You can't make those decisions if you don't know what you are given in the first place. What do you have to work with? What are the tools? What are the things, the energy form, your thought patterns, your entire energy makeup, your energy DNA that you were given from the start? Because we all have strengths and we have certain areas that we're not so good at. So work on your strengths, and you will be on the path of least resistance to the future that we want, and that is how we should be using astrology. I hope you have enjoyed this session here with me today, and if you liked it, please leave me a comment. And also, I've just launched a Telegram channel where I share with all the subscribers to the Telegram channel. You can search for my name, The Real Joviya, on Telegram, and every single day I will give a reading, a daily calendar reading for that day, and you can subscribe to that and get some daily updates. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please share this with all your friends, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon. I'll see you in the next video.